What's up guys, my name is Doug. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome back. If you're not new, welcome to my video listening to Mac Miller with the fan on. Got him! This is another heavily requested album for me to review, for me to react to, for me to listen to. And it's Mac Miller, so you know, of course I waited a little bit after he passed so that I could make this video because I didn't want to gain any recognition or clout off of his unfortunate passing. So we're finally going to be listening to Watching Movies with the Sound Off, and I honestly am really excited. 16 tracks. It's a little shorter than the last Mac Miller album I listened to, Faces. If you haven't seen that video, by the way, go check it out right after this one. It's about 61 minutes long, which is also a breath of fresh air because Faces was like an hour and 30 minutes long, which is insane for a project. So really, I've just got like tons of expectations for this, and I hold Mac in very high esteem. I love his production, I love his lyricism, I love all the talent that he manages to shove into all of these tracks. So yeah, I'm excited to say the least. I can't wait to get into this album with you guys. Really quick though, I'm gonna be doing another video of putting y'all on. I want to promote one of you guys' music. So if you make music or you have a buddy who makes music, hit me up on my Instagram, send me a link to their project or to their tracks or to whatever you would like me to listen to. I will listen to it, provide you with some feedback, and it may end up on the next video of putting y'all on, which should come out later on this month or early next month. I want you guys to get as many submissions in as possible, so definitely go ahead and do that. And yeah, that being said, I've introduced myself, talked about putting y'all on. Time to get into the meat of this project. This is track 1, The Star Room of Watching Movies with the Sound Off by the legendary Mac Miller. Oh, and thank you for being here. Let's get it. This already sounds so like eerie, you know?
Gotta have a future, praying I don't waste it, getting faded, cause I'm till I'm coughing up torn.
Really quick already, this sounds like Mac with his voice pitched up, but it says it's Delusional Thomas. Is that like an alter ego of Mac Miller's, like Larry Fisherman? Let me know in the comments.
For me, I'm still trapped inside my head, it kinda feel like it's a purgatory. So black and white, but I got family who would murder for me. Think I'm living
oh, this is so smooth. I love how bright that guitar is, you know? How there's very little bass to it. I love just how awesome it sounds. It almost sounds like an old Western guitar.
Still someone to love, all these backfires of my experimental drugs on the floor. Difference between love and war.
The percussion is great, the little cymbals.
Anybody though, I'll gladly chew his face up.
I love how gritty the snare is.
I still don't got the heart to pick my phone up when my dad calls.
Oh man.
Well, he recognizes evil, but I want that Rolls Royce that the homie Lennon drove. So if you don't talk about as troubles fill my mind capacity, I'll let him go.
Oh.
If I was Johnny Depp and Blow, I would let it snow. And if God was a human, it'd be
oh, I love that.
Watching horror movies with
that transition. The flow,
looking
man.
out as far as eyes can see. I'm glad being in this elevation could finally meet. Some weed the ground on top of Jesus shrine. 20,000 on my watch cause I needed time.
Nice.
If y'all would leave me to
Creations, if there's a party in heaven, I plan to leave wasted.
Man, so this really eerie, kind of creepy, almost Western-ish introduction from Mac Miller, man. First of all, the production is just absolutely so smooth. You know, it's terrific, really. It creates this really moody tone to the whole track. Provides this awesome bass for him to just kind of like rap over and be really honest and you know, really brutally honest as always. You know, I really know Mac to be really honest on all of his tracks, and that's kind of what's special about him, is whereas other people might want to put on a mask and kind of show out for the music so that they can put that image out towards their fans or their listeners, Mac was just always himself, you know, and he was always so real about what he was going through, and that's something that I've really learned to appreciate by making these videos for you guys and reacting to all of these projects that he's made, is just the honesty throughout each and every one. Every single project sounds like a genuine phase in his life, and that's what's so interesting to me. So that really comes across in this this track right here, this introduction. It definitely piques my interest. It makes me want to hear more of the project, and so that's what we're gonna do. Track 2 is Avian. Get you a girl who brings you chicken nuggets. These are good. Educational. Yo, chicken nuggets with cheese in them? Hell yeah. Alright, let's get it.
The Hamiltons launching a bottle rocket. Done being nice, I'm here for your life and all the profits. Your grandfather's watch from the Holocaust. I'm iconic, naked walking, garden bird watching, alarming all of these cardinals like
The open hi-hat is such an interesting choice for this, dude. Because, you know, when you've got a hi-hat and you're using it open instead of closed, it's more reverberant. It creates more of a, almost like a harsh, staticky sound, depending on the hi-hat that you're using. But it really creates this, like, space in the track because it's a noise that goes on for longer on the hi-hat than it would if you were using a closed one. So it really creates this almost consistent, this consistent, almost staticky sound in the background. I think it's an interesting choice for this because the piano didn't have a lot of reverb on it and it sounded really close up, like up front in the track. So it didn't feel like it was gonna have tons of space in the beat, but it does, and that's interesting to me. I don't know why, but it immediately caught my attention, and maybe that's why he did that, but appreciate that when you hear that.
get faded and play the maestro. I'm ice cold, bunny slippers, nice roll. Sneaky bitch stole my rollie last night, yo. I know the future, to live life, your kids might
Strings?
close your computer.
Having the drums sound so bouncy, and having the keys playing that really playful melody, but having the strings play those really dramatic chords adds contrast to this track. You know, the strings are kind of dramatic, but the piano melody and the drums are all just so playful, you know? It's such a cool, playful / dramatic contrast in this track while he's doing this hook.
A little TV money, dollars for sense of humor. Scholar for my attendance like Bueller, so I use for a tutor. Just every time I get around her, I'm nasty. I never shower, go sleep on a bed of flowers. Not
Yeah, you know, so he talks about goofing around and life's a joke, so we mess around. This is a really playful track. It honestly just sounds like he was having fun spitting on the mic on this track, really. A lot of these bars are really just funny. They're really humorous. A lot of the similes, metaphors that he uses paint these really funny pictures, and so it really feels like he's just goofing around on this track. I don't think I enjoyed it as much as the Star Room, but I do think there's a lot of very interesting components to this track. Track 3 is I'm Not Real.
passport, filling it up with stamps to the camp on my land, swam the rivers to the pan. She keep on if money buy your love, the love's not enough. So tell me why you on your knees crying to the floor. If you real pleasure, I'm not real. I think I never was. I rush every time she let me get a touch.
I like the use of the ad-libs.
I don't exist.
The scatting in the background is so dope. There's like this choir, this male choir in the background just singing one note. It sounds so sinister and epic in the background. Another really good track from Mac. I enjoyed it. I like the drum pattern. I like how different it is. I like that male choir in the background singing one consistent note. It adds, you know, depth to this track. There's a little lead going on that sounds really cool. Regardless of any production, Mac is always going to do his thing on his verses. I think his flow is tight. I think the lyricism's great. I love the imagery. The hook by Earl Sweatshirt, he sounds great on this track as well. What can I say? So, it's dope. XDS. Immediately, we get this really different synth, which is the main melody, or these are the main chords to this track, and it already sounds different than all the other tracks before it. Way more in your face, way more abrasive and harsh. Let's see what he's got for us. I like that he mixed a snap with a clap and a snare. He layered them for the snare. I mean, you can clearly hear all three of them, so that's awesome.
They're playing just they trying to change what has become the same difference. Such a high-o, I'm dope and I know my voice gets to fly low.
Oh man!
I'm no god, I don't think that I'm a human though, cause I'm so odd. Bygones, my mind strong as pythons. The day that I die on will turn me to an icon.
Oh man! The flow is so great. Yeah.
Flow still trying to put me on the Abels and Asian women love me. I look like David Duchovny.
I love his flow, man.
Jewish Buddhists consuming abuse of Christianity. Wonder what Hindus like to eat fish soap and fish stroke.
Alright, so we get a little more braggadocious track, a little more, it's like a flex Mac Miller, you know? Talking about how dope he is and how he's reinventing the sounds and how he's revolutionizing music, which he did. Interpolated by Happy Meal by Tabby. Yo, shout out to Tabby, dude. Popping up everywhere. Yeah, I think this track is great. I enjoy how playful it is. I enjoy him flexing. I enjoy, you know, him actually spitting, like, to impress people. It's just, it's awesome. He's such a great rapper. So, next is Bird Call. I'm loving the drums.
Punch a fan if you get up, we're wrong way. If you post, tell her burn one, 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 burn one.
The drums on this is so great.
Success now, I just wanna see me the coolest undress.
Hey.
Aim in the game, smoking Newport 100. Now I'm at the top in the crown fit, gold on my outfit, surrounded by
Another kind of braggadocious, really funny track from Mac Miller, man. So many funny punchlines in this one. It's great. I love this track. I love the drums. Drums go hard on this. It's crazy. I'm noticing though that these songs all sound like they're the clean version. It's the version that's on Spotify, so is that the way that the songs originally sounded? Or, because I really don't think there's another version of this on Spotify, so we'll just have to deal with that. That sucks though. Anyways, next is Matches featuring Absol. Yeah.
I'm living too fast, soon as it happen. I can't act as rabbit. One being short of a security guard sponsor my cigarettes. Never needed permission, went in middle like that I chose. Premonition type visions, you see the world as it goes. Tell day, I could have been a big referee, would have got one of them from the bachelor.
Yo, he was so funny, man.
Take care of my family and take care of my girl. Plant a couple seeds, blaze a gang of trees.
Nice, dude. So that track's about growing up, maturing, or having the best intentions, wanting success, wanting fame, wanting to take care of your family, take care of your girl. You know, and they talk about how they started their lives off really young, started doing adult things at really young. It's a dangerous thing because you can burn out, you know, you can, well, that's exactly the phrase that Genius used, but you can miss out on a lot by maturing too quickly, and you can miss out on a lot by not maturing fast enough. So it's a dangerous tightrope for you to be walking, because if you're going to experience your life to the fullest, you know, I guess the best way to do it is to just do it your way, I guess. But that's what I feel like this track is about, is just maturing and living life their way, you know, and doing what they want, and dealing with the consequences of their actions, whether they're maturing too quickly or not. They're just gonna do what they want to and deal with the consequences later. You know, it's freeing, I guess. I love the production. I think it goes hard. It's not my favorite track so far, but it's dope. I like it. It's not bad. Next track is I Am Who I Am.
Posing the question, how many been empty and holding aggression? Close to depression. Open your eyes and just focus a second. For a session, my God, that's a lot. The feeling come out to the shot. Pray to me, I'd rather you not.
Oh man.
You driving me crazy, the fact that you pay me and make me to something I love. The world is cold and it's lonely, ain't it? When them high rollers home to Vegas, rated with some homie. You might get infected. A minimalist.
Oh my god, dude. I love the vocals in the background.
Really go. Come on, homie, we major. I waste away.
Nice. Basically about living life to the fullest that you can while you're still here. Oh man. You hear that? Oh man. This is awesome, dude. There's a great message to that track, you know, it's a gift, our time to be alive. Why aren't you chasing your dreams? make the best of these moments that you're still here. You know, you only get like 80 or so years. You might as well live them to the fullest. In the same way that he was talking on that track with Ab-Soul about making your decisions your way and dealing with the consequences later, living your life to the fullest, because everyone's time comes to an end. And, you know, I think that that's just a really cool message to be spreading, to appreciate the time that you've got while you're still here. I think it's great. Objects in the Mirror, produced by Pharrell Williams. Let's go. Strings.
Never taught me how to heal the pain. I wish you got me on a different day.
Love the guitar. Adds such a cool atmosphere to the track. I love that Rhodes. Dang. I'm just loving vibing to this track. This track feels so good to listen to. So apparently, even though it sounds like it, he's not talking about a girl. This is about drug addiction and turning to drugs when you're feeling bad, when you're feeling down, and turning to drugs for answers and for comfort, and you know how tough it is when you're in a position where that feels like your solution, like your only solution. It's a crazy track, but I love the vibe to it. It's just amazing to just listen to, you know, and just feel it, you know? It's an awesome track. Next is Red Dot Music. Oh!
Yeah.
This might be the hardest beat so far.
As your neighbor with the he got special needs. Went to my denim fiends. I'm Kennedy on ecstasy. My little like Kenny G's. It's heavenly.
Yeah. Shout out to Kenny G.
Now be public and government. Abundance of substance have a consumption of thought. Your banana will cup of thick. With the 185th, just for that sizzle, Vortex in case of drizzle. Said it must be the drugs. I gotta stick crazy.
There's a chorus in the background going, "It must be the drugs." It's so great.
Deserve a dedication to the fam. Don't hold your hand out for nothing if you claim to be my man. Damn, you're hotter than the leather in the 6 in the summertime. I understand I'm only rhyming for this son of mine. There's so many lizards from a strange river. Forbidden jungle in the joint paper point shaver.
That's an awesome feature from Action Bronson.
Don't keep it watching, I'm dead. So how I get this red dot on my head? You're faking that. I get a fade and I fade the black. Bit on the Razorbacks. And half is what I'll do to Mac Miller. Now my mom's first track figure a nigga who treats his yak richer than Alexa. Tap slicker than.
That was a funny outro, dude. I like that. That managed to be like fire, funny. It didn't even need a beat. Awesome delivery. I mean, this track is something special. I'm loving the Action Bronson feature. I'm loving the whole production. I'm loving the whole vibe to this track. It's a little long, but I don't mind it. I like it. Next is G's.
Early young's middle son since I was a little one. Moms had to put me on the riddle line. Made a swish and run, cracked the 40, then I lit a blunt. Told Chuck I had a couple raps.
Yo.
Wanna add a couple pages to the Bible. I ain't got nothing left in my will, except throw it all in the casket. It's mine.
I'm Cali like Tone Low. Young boy, but I'm chillin' with some grown folk.
This beat's so sick, man.
Just both. The only strand of smoke for us OGs. I'm rich, car service, no car keys.
Schoolboy.
About to let to a new beach. Me and Swan on every homie I came with. In my knee, rub my tummy, that's my ball I sack. Put $1 million in a safe place, I get a case, daddy.
Yeah, that track is filthy. Two really fire verses from Mac. An insane short verse from Schoolboy Q. Loving the energy. The beat is different. It's catchy though. It's gonna get stuck in my head. That little melody on the beat. It's gonna get stuck in my head. I'm telling you. Watching movies.
These idols till they come in contact with us. This is all my disciples. You get mine for these bras. It's time for a revolution. Me and my dogs about to start a riot. Still
this goes.
You and your people cool it. Out in London like Lennox Lewis. Looking like Farrah Fawcett. I'm just trying to make better music. Get smooth. share the profits.
Hey.
I'm laying it down, laying the seeds, working and watching it grow.
Oh, Mac is filthy, man. There's a xylophone in the background.
Day job, got you gym, just a tank top, getting paid.
Schoolboy Q actually took this flow and used it on X or 10 from the Black Panther soundtrack. Really dope. Nice. Hey. Yo, that beat goes super hard. I love the way that he switches his flow up in the middle of his verses, man. And I love that we get two kind of long verses and just two hooks, and then the track is over. I think it's an awesomely performed track. I think that his flow is filthy. I like hearing Mac brag a little bit. I think it's dope. Next is suplexes inside of complexes and duplexes.
Slap the f*** out John Cryer, Rough Rider, Rob inside of like I want kids. My head continues to be haunted. It's Target, and I don't know why I even started. I'm sick of being too nice to people.
Oh, I love it.
Who consume light, don't get you laid. You got it made in that madhouse. What the fuck you gotta be sad about? Go ahead.
My milk and honey, my Cherie Amore. My Cinderella in her carriage by the doorway. Her ruby slipper made the wizard send the scarecrow in the line during the foreplay.
Oh man.
He said he fight about to see the wizard when he was visited by Dorothy, who came here on a blizzard. Now the whole and Moses should make a tablet. The judge should bang the wood up in Parliament with the mallet and yell.
Oh my god, dude, this is crazy. That track is crazy. I love how simple the beat is just so that they can go off on their verses, man. That J Electronica verse is insane. The imagery with the Wizard of Oz, you know, and just the references to the Bible and Moses and Ecclesiastes and Psalms mixed in with all the Wizard of Oz references, mixed in with like, it's so cinematic, really. Like he paints this huge picture with his verse, and I love it when artists are able to do that. So I really like that track. That's a standout track so far for me. Track 13 is Remember.
I hope you're proud of me. Do that grew to be ingenuity influenced by your eulogy. I let you know when the pain stops.
Man.
I would need to run to any place that the train stops. And everybody wanna talk to me about some business shit.
This is sad, man. Talking about his friend that passed away.
I remember when we were just kids, lost somehow.
So emotional, man.
Help me find my friend. I give you anything you need, multiply by 10. I heard he moved to a place where the time don't end. When we were just kids, we knew nothing at all.
Yeah, that track is beautiful. That outro with the guitar is sensational. I love the whole vibe to this track. It's raw, it's emotional. It's heartbreaking, really, losing, you know, your childhood friend. And he really makes you feel that with him. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy because we can hear that track now and kind of apply it to Mac. You know, he became that for me very quickly. You know, even though I just started listening to his music this year, I had listened to 3 of his projects before he passed, and he had almost, it was almost like I knew him, you know? It's the consequence of being so honest in your music, is people get to really know you, and they start to feel like your family, you know? And then if something happens to you, it just tears everybody apart. It's crazy. Track 14 is Someone Like You. Loving the bongos. It adds such a nice touch.
Do this shit to the day I die. Are you ready? Are you ready? Terrified of my handstand. Verified, get the camera ready. Breaks when you hear the sound of that gun. Now it's losing all of its fun. Spending days in solitude. Too many dumb interviews. Life move fast, but my baby keep it slow. Love me, that fentanyl, ignore me. Beautiful to get ugly. Turn you into a junkie. Still searching for something. Get it from the back if you like that. We go them ass cheeks. Isn't that sweet? Same shit we did last week. From Tess Rick's house. Trapped in this wish world. Dead creeping like Splinter Cell.
Man.
Find a way, find a word.
I think this track might be mostly about drugs, man. it always gets really tough listening to him talk about drugs because of the way that he passed. But it's a great track. I think that the second verse is probably my favorite part of it instead of the first one. It just gets, you know, it's tough hearing him talk about the drugs. It's a downer, man. It's a bummer. The track is great. Next track is Aquarium.
Forever life, but never nice. We expedite the process. And every night I get advice, cause life is way too complex. Send them fast asleep, somewhere off in the master suite. Having dreams of Latin queens and nasty freaks.
Dang.
My mind that wanders years ago. I like to point with the idea that we really know. It's what I do. Will you follow me? All the time we fall behind, get lost in this aquarium. America, the standard of vanity. When the camera's up, we become celebrities. Distract dance, advancing the second chance for this beloved. Wish I could tell you that I didn't see this coming. But I'm ready.
Yeah, it's an awesome social critique. It's tough to react and talk over the song when you're trying to listen to what he's saying. So I didn't want to interrupt anything that he was saying or anything like that, but it's just, he's talking about how people are so focused with what they can see on the outside, with how people can present themselves, and in reality everyone inside is just searching for answers and searching for a meaning to their lives, and they have curiosities about life and death. But as long as the cameras are on you and you're looking like a celebrity, you're looking pretty, people will focus on that and really just kind of like brush everything else that actually matters off, because it's just the world that we live in. And he says that America is setting like this standard of vanity, and I feel like it's just a really valid social critique, and I think it's a great track. The last track of this project is Euphoria. It's awesomely produced. The vibe is great, even though the track is simple. Yeah, that track is really simple. It doesn't have too many lyrics to it. It's mostly just about the vibe and the instrumental, and it's really well produced. So I like it. Let's talk about this project, though. I didn't like this project off my first listen. I didn't like this project as much as I liked Good Morning or Divine Feminine, but that's okay because this came before. There was an evolution for him to get to those points. But this track is just, it's different, you know, in the way that it sounds. And that's what I really like about it. That's what I really appreciate about it, is that it's radically different from all the other projects that we've listened to from Mac this year. Like all the production on this sounds so cohesive, and all the tracks seem to blend so well with each other, you know, and with the tracks that are on the same project as it. But if you compare this project to another one, all the tracks will sound so different from the other project, you know. So it's like this experience, it's this moment in his life that he was going through that he was able to encapsulate into this album and present to us in this way that's just so special. And that was something that was really special about him as an artist, is just the way, his ability to showcase what was on his mind in a very cohesive way on a project, and make his next project sound completely different but still cohesive and make sense. And you know, that just that ability to show us his progression as a person through his projects is something to really be admired in Mac Miller. And so I feel like that comes across in this project. I feel like the vibes on this are amazing. The emotions are amazing. He spits like crazy on this project. His verses are as insane as ever. The similes, the metaphors, the wordplay, it's all great. So if you haven't heard this project, definitely give it a listen. It's about an hour long. You can spare an hour of your day to listen to some great music. I love this project. It's awesome. It's going to be in rotation for me for a long time to come. So thank you all for watching this video. Remember to hit me up on my Instagram and send me links to your music or a friend's music, and I will listen to it, hit you up with some feedback, and you might end up on my next video of putting y'all on. I'd appreciate it if you guys would support me on Patreon. The patrons are the reason that I'm able to continue making these videos for you guys. You get access to a couple extra stuff. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month. The link is in the description. You can also support the channel by liking the video, subscribing to the channel if you have not yet, dropping a comment down below. I'd love to interact with you guys in the comment section. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you all. Appreciate you all for the support. And I'll see y'all soon. Peace.